the Dallas Cowboys 2025 NFL schedule prediction.
This is our year, baby. Let's get it. Come on.
I am prepared to lose all 27 of my subscribers for this video.
Well, y'all, we reached that point in the 2025 schedule prediction series where we have America's team. If you couldn't tell by now, this is going to be my favorite video. This is my team, and I see some big things coming out of the boys this year, baby. So Vegas has the Cowboys winning 7.5 games this year. I can already tell you that is disrespect. The Cowboys just had one of their biggest free agencies in years. Jerry actually backed up his statements this offseason and went all in, getting George Pickens signed off the Pittsburgh Steelers. And I also think the Cowboys had one of the best drafts in the NFL, especially looking back on it. They picked up Tyler Booker at the 12 slot to replace Zach Martin. They drafted Donovan Ezaraku to add onto this already stacked defensive line. And they took, in my opinion, the most underrated corner coming out of the draft, Shavon Ravel out of ECU. They also took Jaden Blue and Phil Maffa to address their running back positions, along with signing Javonte Williams and Miles Sanders in the offseason to replace the loss of Rico Dowdle. The Cowboys also lost Jordan Lewis this past offseason. That's one of their biggest concerns at this point, is the nickel, is their slot cornerback position. I'm hoping Ravel can come in and fill in that spot. If not, I think the Cowboys actually have a good chance at bringing back Stephon Gilmore. He played with the Vikings last season. If they get him, I think the secondary is going to be right back to where they were 2 years ago. This is going to be the Cowboys' first season with new head coach Brian Schottenheimer. I'm excited to see what the guy has. This whole offseason, I keep seeing a bunch of videos of him doing team bonding, and I think he might be the motivator that this team has needed for years. They also got Dante Fowler Jr. back off of his 10.5 sack year with the Commanders. This guy was great with Dallas. I think he's going to come back and be good with us again. This defensive line is going to be some scary business. I'm saying best in the NFL. They got Micah Parsons, Sam Williams, Marshawn Kneeland, Dante Fowler Jr. They just got Ezaraku, and that's just some of their pass rushers. They still have Osa Odigizua. Hopefully we see some improvements out of Mozzie Smith this year. And yeah, they upgraded their wide receiver positions. Now Dak has all the weapons he needs. We lost Brandon Cooks, but that's all right. I still think CeeDee Lamb and George Pickens are going to wind up being a top 3 wide receiver duo in the league this year, and I really don't think that's some crazy hot take. I fully expect them to pay Micah Parsons, and another key piece is coming back to this defense. That's Demarion Overshown. He showed huge glimpses of some elite talent. I cannot wait to see what this guy has in store. Hopefully he comes back fully healed off that ACL tear. And hopefully this defense can get back to where they were back with Dan Quinn. The Mike Zimmer experiment didn't work out. Hopefully the Eberflus train will come through town and get this defense right back on track. So Dallas finished last year 7-10. I gotta say, most of this is attributed to injuries. They had Dak out for most of the season. Diggs was out. Parsons was out for extended time. Sam Williams sustained a season-ending injury before the season even started. This team was just banged up all season, and it was so unfortunate. To all Cowboys fans, the 2024 season was just one to forget. I think this team will rebound back to where they were in the 2021 through 2023 season, going 12-5 in each of those 3 seasons and leading the league in scoring 2 out of those 3 years. So with all that glazing out of the way, let's get into the schedule prediction. I'm going to start off hot here. This is week 1, the week of unknowns, first football game of the NFL season, first regular season game. This is Thursday night on the road in Philadelphia. Give me the Cowboys in this one. I know defending Super Bowl champs are notorious for having luck in week 1, but I just see a world where the Eagles come in slow. They're not prepared for what's about to hit them. Dak Prescott has owned the NFC East, and I know Philly whooped our ass twice last year, but I'm just coping here and saying that it was all because of injuries. I still think this roster can go toe-to-toe with the Super Bowl champs. Give me Dallas in the first game of the season. Week 2, this is a home game against the New York Giants. I'm not going to go too in-depth here. Dak Prescott hasn't started and lost a game to the Giants since Obama was president. I think the Cowboys are going to easily get this one done and follow it up with a win on the road in Chicago. This is week 3, going into their week 4 Sunday night football primetime matchup against their arch nemesis. So I don't even have to explain why the Packers are our out of division arch nemesis. Everyone knows these two teams have history. They've met in the playoffs more than any team in NFL history. And all these nightmares are just coming back to me. I just remember all the stuff that's happened in my lifetime. Oh God, I just hate the Packers. As much as it kills me to say this, I do see them coming into Dallas and handing us our first loss of the season. That's just going to be a little punch in the mouth, get us right back on track for where we need to go. But week 5, I see us going on the road at New York. I think our defense is going to be able to stifle Breece Hall, Justin Fields, and that Jets rushing attack. I'm not too worried about Garrett Wilson. I think our D is going to lock them up there, and our O is going to go crazy. Give me the Cowboys in week 5 on the road at New York. And then I also like Dallas the week after. This is on the road in Carolina. I said this in the Carolina prediction video. The Cowboys were out like 7 or 8 of their starters last year and still beat Carolina. I think it was on the road against Bryce Young and them. Give me the Cowboys in this one. And now we have an interesting one. This is a home game versus Washington. Now, Washington and Dallas split last year. Both of those games were pretty tight. I like Dallas in the home game this year. I'm going to go ahead and give this one to the Cowboys. Followed up by a loss on the road in Denver. Denver's just one of those AFC teams where it feels like on any given day, they could come in and beat one of the best teams in the NFL. And with the Cowboys sitting at 6-1, I think this game is just a recipe for disaster, especially on the road here. I really do think that Denver will beat the Cowboys on this night, just being completely realistic. I'm going to go ahead and give this one to the Broncos. And that's going into week 8, a home game versus Arizona. This is a Monday Night Football game. So both teams are going to be coming off a little bit of extra rest. I like Dallas at home versus Arizona. However, Arizona, for some reason, always seems to have our number. I like Dallas in this one, but I would not be shocked to see the Cardinals take this Monday Night Football game. Right now, I'm going to add a W to this win column. So now at this point, I have Dallas at 7-2 going into the bye week, and coming out of that, they have another Monday Night Football game. This is on the road in Las Vegas. I like Dallas here. Vegas's run game does scare me because I like Ashton Genty a whole lot. I think his success is going to translate to the NFL, but I think the Cowboys are going to be able to stop him on this day and get this one done. However, I don't think lightning strikes twice, and in the week after, I do see Philadelphia coming into Dallas and getting their lick back from week 1. I got Philly taking this one. And then after that, we have a big one. This is a Thanksgiving game at home against the Kansas City Chiefs. The Cowboys are the king of Thanksgiving. They normally have pretty good success, at least in recent years they have. I do see a whole lot of regression coming out of Kansas City this year. I know that's crazy to say. They're a perennial Super Bowl team. They're still technically in a dynasty, even if it's slowly coming to an end. They have Patrick Mahomes. I believe Dallas is going to be able to get this one done on Thanksgiving. Of course, this is going to be a tough one. This is an absolutely brutal part of the NFL season. Everyone's been talking about like this 4-game stretch that the Cowboys have against playoff teams from last year. I mean, just going through the list, you got Philadelphia, Kansas City, Detroit, Minnesota, the Chargers, Washington, all back to back to back to back to back. That is going to be insane. If the Cowboys can just win 2 or 3 of those, I think we're definitely going to be a shoo-in for the playoffs. So this Thanksgiving game is really going to show us where the Cowboys are at. I'm going to chalk this one up as a win for Dallas. And I don't know if we can repeat that kind of success in back-to-back weeks. I do like Detroit in the week after that. This is another Thursday Night Football. The Cowboys have 4 primetime games in 5 weeks. This is that part of the season where they play 3 games in 11 days. It happens every year. No team has more experience dealing with that than the Cowboys, but the NFL just decided to screw us this year and give us literally the hardest teams in the league to play against. I don't know what that was about. So after that L at Detroit, we come back home for a Sunday Night Football game against Minnesota. I do think the Cowboys win this one. I don't love Minnesota this year. Give me the W for Dallas in this home game against the Vikings. And I also like Dallas at home against the Chargers. Go ahead and give me this one as well. Now at 11-4, there is slight hope that the Cowboys are going to be in contention for that top seed. And however, we've proven bye weeks don't mean anything. We always lose coming off of a bye week. So I'm not even sure if I want us to have the 1 seed, if that makes sense. And then the last game in that 6-week gauntlet is a road one at Washington. I think Washington and the Cowboys split again this year. I got Washington taking their home game. And I think the last game of the season, resting their starters or not, the Cowboys are going to beat the Giants on the road, wrapping this season's win total up to 12-5 again. Now, obviously, the Cowboys have proved in the past that 12-5 is not enough to get it done. In fact, probably not even win a single playoff game. We sent Tom Brady into retirement, and that's about all we got off of those 36 wins in 3 seasons. This year, I'm praying that they can squeak out 1 playoff win. That's all I need. But yeah, I know I'm going to catch a ton of flack on this because being totally realistic, this is a little bit higher towards the Cowboys ceiling. I could totally see this team dropping that Arizona game or like a freak loss against the Raiders or something. But I definitely think this team is going to win at least 10 games this year and make playoffs. I just don't see a world where if this team stays healthy, that's the big if they can stay healthy, this team should make the playoffs. And anyone that says otherwise, I think is just being a hater. It's hard to ignore the talent that the Cowboys have on paper. But with all that being said, when it comes to Vegas's disrespectful line of 7.5 wins, get that out of here. Take the over. Free money all day. I'm personally going to be placing a bet on the Cowboys season win total. I promise you guys, this team will win more than 7.5 games. But yeah, guys, that's going to do it. Go ahead and leave me all of your comments. I'm sure you'll have a lot to say. Go ahead and like this video, and please make sure to subscribe. I'll go ahead and see you guys in the next one. We have the Denver Broncos. I'm out.
Hell of a job. And the only thing else I got to say is, how about them Cowboys?